Good morning, everybody. The Iceman here on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel, and it just keeps getting better and better every week. And I'm talking about TNA Impact Wrestling on Destination America. Now, I did a preview on my Iceman V 2013 channel, and the preview was based on the matches I saw that were listed. There was a match with tag teams that was listed, and I talked about in the preview that wasn't there, and the last man standing match with Eric Young and Bobby Roode was not listed. Like I said, I don't read spoilers, so I don't actually know what the card actually is until I watch it. But if you watched TNA Impact last night from start to finish, it was an awesome show. Um, Describing it, it was tremendous. It was absolutely tremendous from beginning to end, and the main event was like none I haven't seen in a very, very long time. It definitely delivered, and it was so much more better than I expected. But let's get into it. Uh, TNA started off with the last man standing match with Bobby Roode and Eric Young. Now, this feud's been going on for quite some time since Eric Young really cost Bobby Roode the TNA World Heavyweight title back on January 7th when TNA Impact Wrestling first debuted on Destination America. So there was a lot of history between these two. They've known each other for a number of years. They were tag team partners at one time. Both obviously have been world champions here in TNA, and of course we've seen so many face heel turns on Bobby Roode in recent years, and we recently seen the heel turn of Eric Young and a very, very vicious Eric Young. This was a pretty good match. I mean, these guys just went to town on each other, and to be quite honest with you, uh, I thought deep down that Rude was going to get the eventual win over Eric Young. Because this feud's been going on for quite some time, they needed to find a way to end it, and a last man standing match was pretty good. And there was a number of times both men were being counted by the referee, and it wasn't until you know, we saw power bombs by Eric Young to Bobby Roode. Uh, we saw a power bomb from uh, Roode to Eric Young. We saw pile drivers by both, and it wasn't until the very end when Bobby Roode did the Roode bomb on Eric Young through the table on the outside of the ring. Eric Young could not get to his feet in time for the 10 count. Bobby Roode ends up winning this match. A very, very, very good opening match. I think it went about 15 minutes or so. The start of the show was really, really good. Also, we saw Drew Galloway come out, and he got into the ring and he was addressing the fans. Then he decided, he goes, no, he goes, I need to be where I'm supposed to be. So he goes into the crowd, and he's talking about wrestling and not entertainment, basically. And then when you heard the music of the Beatdown Clan, MVP comes out with the rest of the Beatdown Clan, Low Key, Samoa Joe, and Kenny King. And MVP said, you were the chosen one once before, and he was referring to uh, Drew McIntyre days in the WWE. Um, and MVP also said we used to ride together. We used to, just do a lot of shit together and whatnot. And he said, you are the chosen one. And he said, by you wanting to be the chosen one, we're going to take you down. And they had a pretty good match between each other. MVP told the rest of the Beatdown Clan to stay in the back. He said he had this. Um, Drew Galloway was just getting ready to beat MVP when the Beatdown Clan came in. Um, and there was a beatdown on Drew Galloway. Low Key was attempting to do a maneuver on Galloway. Joe had stopped him, and then he handed him the pipe. And of course, Low Key wailed the head of Drew Galloway. cut him open, and successfully beat down Drew Galloway in what was to be a very, very interesting match as well. Although Galloway ended up winning the match by disqualification, obviously, with the beatdown clan coming in. So that was a really good match as well. We also saw a segment with Magnus and Mickie James backstage. She's telling Magnus that, you're basically not ready. The doctor's saying your neck and shoulder aren't really ready to go through this kind of a match with Bram. He told her that he is ready. He needed to do this. He told her to stay in the back. And he and Bram went to town on each other as well. I like the character of Bram. I think he brings an interesting mix to the superstars here in TNA, and I just like that character. I really enjoy it. Magnus was doing quite well, but it wasn't until that Bram started taking down Magnus and he went underneath the ring. I don't know if anybody's ever seen those industrial ties. They're like nylon ties where you put the end of the tie through the hole and then you just tighten it and it locks. So Bram had done that to Magnus and had him tied up to the ring ropes and went to town on Magnus. Mickie James came out, uh, tried to stop this. Eventually, she got in the ring and she had slapped Bram, and then he had got her in a headlock type hold. And Magnus was going nuts, but he was, pretty helpless here. And Bram said to Magnus basically, you know, I'll let her go if you kiss my boot. And of course, Bram had that cue ball, and we weren't sure what he was going to do with that. Uh, and we saw Magnus lower himself to kiss the boot of Bram, and Bram did let Mickie James go. And so we're not done seeing this feud by any means. I thought it was a pretty good segment there. I really enjoyed that one as well. Up next, we saw Brooke, Brooke Tessmacher going up against Robbie E. Outside the ring with Jesse Goddard and Angelina Love. You know, you know, going into this, you said to yourself, this is sort of like, it, I don't know, but Robbie E is a character, and when he's on the top of his game, he is fun to watch. Believe it or not, he does some stupid antics and whatnot, and this match went on, and Robbie E obviously, you know, facing Brooke should have been an easy win for him, but there was a miscue by Jesse Goddard where he went to drop kick Brooke and he ended up getting Robbie E, and Brooke ended up getting the pin on Robbie E, and it was fun to watch. It really was. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Robbie E, but when he's on his game, he is definitely fun to watch and very, very entertaining. And then up next was the main event, the hair versus hair match. Now, I was very shocked that this was the main event. I was expecting a three-way tag team match that was advertised, an Ultimate X match, and it wasn't to be. It wasn't even on the card. And so I'm thinking to myself, God, there's still a lot of time left, and it's going to be Ethan Carter against Rockstar Spud. Now, when Rockstar Spud first came to TNA, I wasn't a big fan of him. Maybe because he did side with Dixie and Ethan Carter. But I'm going to tell you something. This match totally delivered. It was like about 20 minutes long. Um, Rockstar Spud gave it to Ethan Carter. And of course, Ethan Carter, delivered back to Rockstar Spud. But when Ethan was getting himself to the point where he started getting worried, who comes out as Tyrus. Tyrus slamming Rockstar Spud down to the mat. And what happened after that was something that I did expect, was Mr. Anderson to come out to even the odds. Again, he gave the mic check to Tyrus, which took him out. So Ethan's in the ring looking like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? And Rockstar Spud went to town. This guy just totally went to town. Rockstar Spud really did a great job last night in the ring, as well as Ethan Carter, because we don't see Ethan Carter wrestle all that often. But he did have that sleeve on his left arm, and he used that to his advantage when he wailed Rockstar Spud in the forehead with that sleeve. The buckles or the metal that's on that sleeve cut open Rockstar Spud, and this was, a lot of people say, it's not real blood, but I saw when Rockstar Spud was down, the blood was cleared, and then all of a sudden it just started coming out of his forehead. Now, I don't know how you can fake that. I mean, it looked like real blood to me. It was a very, very bloody match. Um, this match delivered. Ethan Carter and Rockstar Spud, I mean, put on a great, great main event. Like I said, when you saw this as a main event, you never would have expected it to be as good as it was. And it got to the point at the very, very end, Ethan Carter finally defeated Rockstar Spud. And then you saw a slight change in Ethan Carter. He lost that heel image for a short moment, and he praised Rockstar Spud. He said he deserves to be in TNA. He respected him. He even raised his arm. He shook his hand, and he told him, you know, I'm not going to shave your head tonight. And, after shaking hands and raising his arm, Ethan went to the ring ropes, opened them up for Rockstar Spud to climb out, a very, very bloody Rockstar Spud. And then Ethan brought him back into the ring, got him hooked upside down in the corner on the ropes, and then just went to town, got the shears, and shaved his head. I really thought Ethan Carter was going to make a face change, but it wasn't to be. He said he is wrestling. This is his place. And I liked what I saw last night. The main event, again, if you haven't seen it, you need to go watch it. TNA, like I said, start to finish, was an excellent, excellent show. It was tremendous. There was action from very, very beginning to the very, very end. Everything was awesome. I mean, this is one of the best TNA Impact Wrestlings I have seen all year. And it seems like lately I've been saying that, but it just seems like they get better and better and better. And I'm looking forward to what happens next week. So this is the Iceman's TNA review on this Saturday. If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out because I'm telling you right now, the last man standing match was excellent. Galloway and MVP was good. Magnus and Bram was good. Like I said, if you want to have a little bit of a comedy involved, Robbie E played his part well, and Ethan Carter and Rockstar Spud stole the show in my eyes. Peace out, everybody. Have yourself a great, great Saturday.